Ethan and Lucas were on a long journey home. Every problem felt like a disaster to Lucas. But Ethan stayed calm and thankful. Lost water, heavy rain, endless complaints. One saw problems, the other saw lessons. They finally stopped under a large, shady tree.
"This tree is useless," Lucas said. "It has no fruit."
"I protect the soil. I give shelter. Every creation has value." In that moment, Lucas understood. Value isn't always what you expect. Focusing on one rotten orange can make you forget all the good ones. Gratitude changes perspective. And perspective changes life. Ever found yourself in a situation where everything just seems to be going wrong? You know, one of those days where it feels like the universe is conspiring against you? This story is for anyone who's ever felt that way. Once, two young men, Ethan and Lucas, were on a long and difficult journey back to their village. The road was rough, and their path was filled with unexpected challenges. Not long after they started, they came across a bridge that had been completely washed away by a recent flood. The river was too wide and fast to cross.
Lucas threw his hands up in frustration. "Just our luck. Now what are we supposed to do? This is a disaster. We'll never get home at this rate."
He kicked a loose stone, his face a mask of annoyance. Ethan, on the other hand, just looked around calmly. He pointed towards a narrow, winding path up the mountainside. "Well," he said, "it looks like there's another way. It might be longer, but at least we are not completely stuck. We have our health and strength to climb. Let's be thankful for that and get moving." Reluctantly, Lucas followed. The climb was steep and tiring. The sun beat down on them, and soon, their water was running low.
Lucas started complaining again. "I'm so thirsty I can barely walk. We're going to run out of water before we even get halfway there. This is a nightmare."
Just then, as if on cue, the sky opened up and a heavy rain began to fall.
They were soaked in minutes. "Great, just great," Lucas shouted over the downpour. "Now we're cold, wet, and miserable. Can this day get any worse?"
Ethan simply smiled, opened his mouth, and drank the fresh rainwater. He turned to his friend and said, "Look, our prayers for water have been answered. It's not exactly what we expected, but nature has provided. Let's be grateful for this cool rain." They continued their journey, and after what felt like an eternity, they finally saw a familiar landmark in the distance, a huge, ancient tree with a massive canopy. Its branches spread out like a giant, welcoming umbrella. This tree signaled that they were almost home. Exhausted, they stumbled towards it and collapsed in its shade, shielded from the sun which had now returned. Lucas, still grumpy, looked up at the vast branches.
"What a useless tree," he muttered. "All this size, and not a single fruit on it. It just sits here, taking up space."
Suddenly, a deep, rustling voice seemed to come from the tree itself.
"Useless? Young man, you are sitting in my shade, protected from the sun. My roots hold this soil together, preventing it from washing away and destroying the path you walk on. My leaves provide shelter for countless birds and creatures. I may not offer you fruit, but I offer you rest and safety. Everything in creation has its purpose and its value, even if you can't see it right away."
Lucas was stunned into silence. He looked at Ethan, who was resting peacefully, a small smile on his face. The tree's words echoed in his mind. For the first time that day, he felt a sense of shame for his constant complaints. He had been so focused on what was going wrong, on what he didn't have, that he'd failed to see all the small blessings along the way. You see, life is a lot like a basket of oranges. If you get a basket with 100 oranges, and just one of them is rotten, what do? Do you throw away the whole basket? Of course not. But so many of us, when faced with one problem, focus all our energy on that one rotten orange. We let it spoil our mood and prevent us from enjoying the 99 good ones right there in front of us. Lucas's journey wasn't just about getting home. It was about learning to see the good oranges. He had strength, a companion, a path to follow, and rain when he was thirsty. He had shelter when he was tired. His basket was full, but he was fixated on the one thing he thought was missing. Gratitude isn't about ignoring life's problems. It's about acknowledging the good that exists alongside them. It's a shift in perspective, a conscious choice to focus on our blessings rather than our burdens. This simple change doesn't make the problems disappear, but it gives us the strength, positivity, and resilience to overcome them. So, the next time you feel like the world is against you, take a moment. Look for your good oranges. Maybe it's a roof over your head, a friend you can call, or simply the air you breathe. When we start counting our blessings, we realize our lives are far richer than we thought. That is the true secret to a happier, more fulfilling life. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, consider subscribing for more content that helps us see the world a little differently. See you next time.